Social, religious norms aside, how would you like your death to be mourned, celebrated? New Orleans has a tradition of marching slowly to the graveyard, mourning, then a ceremony and a dancing jazz party on the way back to the church, where food and drinks are. The party continues from there. I've always thought this is good psychology, mourn, but celebrate also. I have a tendency to be late for a lot of things. When I die, I would like one of the following said about me at the service, and written on my tombstone. If I outlived the average life expectancy age, late for death, as he was for most things in life. If I died before the average life expectancy age, finally, something he wasn't late for. What if you die exactly at the life expectancy age? Maybe right on time, finally. Asterisk, he passed at last, asterisk, asterisk, but such is fate, asterisk. Asterisk, he died on time, asterisk. Asterisk, and now he's late, asterisk. I want to be dropped like 500 or so feet from the sky, and wherever I land is just a surprise. Cannonball funeral. I'd love to placed in a wooden ship soaked in gasoline and pushed into the sea while an archer shoots a fiery arrow from the bay. The people will then mourn me watching my ship on fire and crumbling into the sea while a bagpiper play a sad Irish music. Then, after a while, people will start questioning the Irish sad song since I'm Italian, but I will be gone forever, not to be bothered by the Monsieur. Nordic ceremony, Irish music, Italian family. How American. Greater than how American. It sailed on the waves like a vision of grace. A craft on the waters adrift in its place. He wiped at a tear and he watched it afloat. He took out his gun and he shot at the boat. I always thought that I wanted to be cremated and my ashes spread into the ocean on a full moon. Now I'm thinking, just fill my belly with seeds and bury me in a forest, so I can become fertilizer for the trees and flowers and have some trees and flowers grow out of me. The coffin dancers carrying my grave and dancing while playing Vicestone Astronomia in the background. Greater than coffin dancers, please call them by their official name, Paul Ballers. Argana says goodbye. I want my body to be cured, stuffed with candy, and hung from the ceiling so the funeral guests can beat the candy from my dead body like a piñata. I'll put the fun in funeral. After my death, just throw me in the trash. Had to go further than I expected for this? Joke answer. Tattoo a treasure map on my body for my loved ones to follow and discover that the true treasure was the friends we made along the way. Serious answer. I'd hope that my body would be put to use as efficiently as possible. Organ donations. Leftover parts given to science. Leftovers to be burned, buried, eaten. Whatever works for the survivors. I'm not using my body anymore. Then a small gathering, with food, music, fun, where people take turns coming to the microphone and sharing a memory they have of me. No big eulogies, no mountains of flowers, nothing big or fancy, just my loved ones remembering me, and my love for them. For a little while, I agree with your serious answer 100%. I'm in the medical field and so many patients die waiting for organ transplants. It is truly heartbreaking. Donating to science is so important to support new discoveries too. The best funerals I have been to and left feeling somewhat happy and feeling some closure have been the ones with lots of stories told. The stories make you remember the good. I want my remains to be scattered over Disneyland, but I do not want to be cremated. My spouse, a wildlife photographer, said that instead of spreading my ashes over my favorite part of Yellowstone that he'd throw me out limb by limb so he could get some amazing photographs. I want to become a tree. I don't want my family going broke after I die. If my first choice isn't an option, I want them to do something sustainable and affordable. You read my mind. Imagine huge forests of the dead instead of graveyards. Creepy but good for the environments and helps growth. I thought about having a family forest that everyone is buried in, that starts with one tree in the center who is a common ancestor to everyone in the forest. Edit. To add to this, you could have plaques at each tree telling you a little bit about each person. Who their parents were, their children, the cause of death, an interesting fact, etc. Play a Kahoot with questions about my life. The person that wins gets my will. I want to do this but with Jeopardy. I want another One Bites the Dust played at my funeral. And Highway to Hell, of course. I don't know if you are supposed to put joke answers here, but there is a type of funeral where instead of it being sad, everyone there celebrates the fun and crazy times they had with you. We did that for my sister. She had said she wanted a party at her favorite bar, so that's what she got. It was so nice being able to focus on her life and hobbies. Listening to her friends share their memories of her really made it a lovely celebration of her life. I want to be cremated. I don't want to be buried and take up space on this earth cause I don't see the point. I want all my friend and family to go have a celebration of life up on the beach and eat burgers cuss. It's my favorite food lol. I don't want it to be sad. Want everyone to be happy because I lived my life to the fullest and I feel I will be in a way better place. I have a chronic disease and have had a lot of time to come to terms with death. I'd rather be buried with olive seeds and have a tree grow from my dead body. I think if one wants to be buried and taking space on this earth, it is okay to make a tree out of yourself because you are bringing life back to it. I know someone that said a friend of theirs lost their 20-something-year-old son. They took his ashes and mixed with soil to grow a marijuana plant while his friends still come over, go visit, and smoke. A woman shrugging, medium skin tone. Weed is legal in my state. I want my body donated to the body farm with one special stipulation. I want to be put in a car trunk and spring-loaded so that when some hapless grad student comes to check on my decomposition, my corpse pops out at them like a fermenting eyeless jack-in-the-box. Jesus fuck, that's spectacular. I mean, I'd just be happy for someone to show up, to be honest. F. Whatever my family wants, I will be dead. I do not care at all. That's my thought. I don't care. I won't be there. I just don't want anyone to use up resources. So no coffin or burial. No expensive funeral. No celebration whatsoever. I realize my time is almost up, so I hike out to some super remote location where no human has ever set foot before. I lie down and listen to birdsong as I slowly starve to death. My body is scavenged by animals as it decomposes. No human ever lays eyes on any part of my remains. It's all totally natural. Maybe nobody even realizes I'm gone for months or even years. Problem is that it would be really hard to hike to such a location even while healthy, much less while close to death. Make all my friends and relatives do shots while reading through all my terrible tweets, Reddit posts on a loudspeaker while a slideshow of my dogs and the awful memes I made shows in the background. Then they throw me in a shallow grave in a cardboard box. Each chug a bottle of champagne while fireworks go off. At least, that's what I hope happens. Oh, and my wife has one of those sick-ass black lace veils. The ones attached to a too tiny hat. And she keeps saying suspicious stuff about a life insurance policy the whole time. Also, I really hope they get someone cool like a Cajun restaurant to cater, because everyone in my family is a shit cook and I want my one friend with culinary experience to be able to relax and enjoy. I love this. I want this for my funeral now. I would like to be spoken for, like an Orson Scott Card's * speaker for the dead, *. Just tell my story. Don't make me into a saint. Don't skip my many flaws. Just explain my life as it happened. Give context, but don't pull punches. Speak of my modest achievements, but don't try to make them more meaningful than they are. Don't overlook my many failures. I have friends and enemies and I would like them both satisfied with my eulogy. I want my closest friends to drink with my urn. To have one last brew with the boys before I go to the afterlife. I would do this, but people don't even show up to drink with me while I'm alive. Wrap me in burlap and throw my body in a ditch. Then forget I ever existed. I like the way you think. I want someone to hire a bear from one of those companies that rescues hurt bears and then trains the monsieur, then have that bear be at my funeral. Preferably a black bear, because they're smaller and less aggressive than the people who are in on it. A select group of my closest friends. And if I have one at the time of my death, my significant other will walk up to the bear and talk to it like it was a close friend of theirs too. Nothing can be explained to anyone about the bear. As far as they know, I lead a secret life where I befriended a bear. That's what I want. Also, all of my Furbies should be there. Oh, I also want to be cremated. I have a fear of being buried in a coffin alive, and cremation should stop that. I want to be fired into the sun. Orgies. I want people to remember me as I wanted to live. I want the funeral from Star Wars Episode 1. Ooh, put me down for the Episode 6 funeral. I want to be burned on pyre in a Darth Vader costume. I want to have a big-ass party with my body as the centerpiece. Crowd surfing. I'd want as much of me to be reused as possible. Organs donated and all that stuff. And whatever's left be buried and planted under a tree. Alternatively, I wouldn't mind if my body was donated for educational purposes. I have a pretty extensive medical history and have been told by surgeons and radiologists that I have fascinating bone structure. I developed some pretty extreme bone deformities later in life. It's a weird compliment, but I'll take it. Maybe something could be learned from me. I've answered this question like 3 times before on different sites and at least once on Reddit. Before. I always change it a little bit each time, but I still think it's always amazing. Anyway, I want my funeral to go like this. Closed casket. No one sees my face or body. I hire an actor beforehand to run and yell, "No, I must see her one last time," as they fling open the casket to reveal it is not me, but several raccoons in a trench coat. Everyone will be utterly shocked and confused. In a shadow in the back corner, I will set a recording of my voice to say, "Ah, so you've discovered that I have faked my death." I have in fact not faked my death. Everything will be in a state of utter chaos at this point. Meanwhile, miles away, my body will be dismembered and fed to forest animals while my skull will be nailed to a tree. Because that's where it belongs. It'll be metal AF. And if I can't have that, I'll settle for a regular Viking funeral. Seems kind of generic emo, but I'll take it if I can't have that carrot. That is wonderful. You should have a fake body in the corner so if people investigate they find a body. I'd say have real body there, but I think that would be illegal. I would like to be cremated and have my ashes put into fireworks. I then would like them launched from my favorite spot on the beach so I can touch the sky one last time. Tibetan sky burial. My mom can't win if she can't reach my remains. Just dump me in a ditch, there's nothing to mourn, celebrate. You and you. Hyman_Destroyer said the same thing at the same time. Valhalla style. Put me in a big boat filled with wood and diesel and shoot flaming arrows into it. Then throw a party. Have a party. Eat all my favorite foods. Drink my favorite drinks. Listen to all my favorite songs. Tell some stories. Then get on with your life. I told my friends to dress me up as an assassin and toss me from a building. I'll write some credits of my life so I have an original funeral. About my body. Turn me into a lemon tree. Next to a river and a sugar plant. Make lemonade out of me. I'm gonna have a nice funeral with a decent number of my friends and family. But I'm not going to have a will. At my funeral everyone, with their consent of course, will be given a taser. Last man standing gets all my shit. I would like to be fed to wild animals or at least composted and fed to trees. I want my body deposited into the ocean for the fish to consume. I'm leaving money to have 250 trees planted in a large tract of public open space in my memory. Ashes from cremation will be used for fertilizer, returning nutrients to the earth. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.